I will never not wear the thoughts that I'm having on my face. Ever. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Welcome to Mojo and Co., the podcast for unapologetic midlife women who are done playing small, done guessing, and done fighting their body instead of understanding it. I'm your host, Katie Fleece, and this podcast is for women who are ready to get their mojo back, their confidence, their power, and the connection to their body back. We talk hormones, confidence, body image, relationships, and real life with zero filters and absolutely no BS. Nothing is off limits here. If you're ready to feel powerful in your body again and remember who the heck you are, you're exactly where you belong. Let's go. What's up, queens? Welcome back to Mojo and Co. podcast. Full transparency, I did not plan to do a podcast episode today. I actually didn't even plan to talk about this topic at all. It was just like one of those moments where I was working out at the gym this morning. I was in the sauna and I had this thought and I was just like, actually, honestly, if I just wore a microphone at all times and just like talked to myself, because I talk out loud to myself quite often. If you don't do that, you're weird, because let's be real. Like, I have some of the greatest conversations with myself. And if I just wore a microphone, it would produce some really great podcast content. I can't necessarily guarantee that it would be valuable content, but it would definitely be entertaining. Okay. So anyways, I was like literally, I was in the sauna by myself and I was just like having a conversation with myself about all of the things that I will just never, literally ever stop doing. So I was just, talking out loud, and then on my way home from the gym, I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? That would actually be a really great podcast episode, because I feel like more people might actually, find value in that. Maybe they could take some tips. I don't know. So I hopped in the shower really quick because, like I said, I just got out of the sauna. By the way, pro tip, if you are a sauna user, please, for the love of all things holy, do not sit in that funk all day long. You must go take a shower right away. Not that you want it, but there's some weirdos out there. I'm telling you, please don't sit in your filth. You got to shower it off. Okay. So I just hopped in the shower really quick and then, threw on my sweats and a hat, and here we are. I did dermaplane. So if my face is a little red, that's why. I know too that if you are an esthetician, you might be cringing right now, like, oh my God, Katie, please do not encourage people to dermaplane themselves. Look, I get it. I truly, truly get it. But I am part Sasquatch, and like I'm just a hairy bitch. Like that's all there is to it. I always have been. Like if I didn't, trim my eyebrows and wax frequently, I would have a unibrow, which by the way, some people can pull that off, and it's like model-esque, okay? I am not one of those people. So yeah, I do. I have to dermaplane myself. I get it professionally done once a month, but girlfriend cannot go 4 weeks in between dermaplane sessions. It's just literally impossible. So anyways, I am titling this episode, Things I Will Never Stop Doing. Literally ever. All right. These are random and they are not in any certain order. So here we go. All right. I will literally never stop watching Real Housewives. Okay. Ever. I love trash TV. Okay. I should add Real Housewives and The Bachelor or Bachelorette. Like it's just, I've always watched them and I will continue to watch them. Yes, I realize that I sit on the couch and my brain literally rots when I watch this shit. It is so entertaining to me. so entertaining. By the way, too, there's only certain housewives that I watch. I don't watch all of them. There's some that I can't really get into, but I will never stop watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Real Housewives of Orange County. And New York. I liked New York, like the OGs of New York. I know they tried to do like a new cast of New York. I actually did like it. I did. It was entertaining. I liked it. I didn't like them as well as the OGs, but it was still entertaining. Like, I don't know what it is. And by the way, my husband watches these shows with me too. I sit there and I'm like, I don't know how they can have so many dinner parties and it always ends up in like a knockdown, drag out fight. Like, it's ridiculous. But I can't get enough. I can't get enough. And so it is one of my favorite nights of the week. Like, I look forward to watching this crap on TV. Okay, there you have it. I won't ever stop doing it. I will also never ever stop drinking my daily Starbucks. Ever. Okay? I have done this for I don't even know, 2 decades, like literally every day. And there is no shame in my game. Now, that is a question that I get a lot on my socials is, what do you order from Starbucks? Now, it has changed throughout the years, okay? Currently, this has been probably a 6-year run now of me ordering the same thing. Look, I like a vanilla sweet cream cold brew. I just do. Okay. A lot of people will say, well, is it macro friendly? Which, by the way, I hate that term, macro friendly. I'm like, well, it has macros. And yeah, I mean, you could put it in MyFitnessPal. So I guess technically it's macro friendly, so I don't really know what that term means, like macro friendly. I mean, I don't know. And quite honestly, probably not. I don't know. I guess that's a trick question. But I love it. Now, here is a tip, and it's a tip that's going to save you calories, but I actually don't do it to save the calories. I actually do it because it genuinely tastes better. Okay. So here's what you're going to do. I order a grande non-dairy vanilla sweet cream cold brew. Okay. Non-dairy, not because I'm allergic to dairy. Actually, I think I might be allergic to dairy, but I have not clinically been diagnosed with that. I just know that when I eat ice cream, my stomach gets upset. Okay. But I just did non-dairy because I like almond milk. Okay. So anyways, I do the non-dairy vanilla sweet cream cold brew. It tastes better. It tastes better than the regular. Okay. That right there is going to save you so many calories. And then I do sugar-free vanilla. So no regular vanilla, just 3 pumps. I think it's 3 pumps. It might be 2 pumps. I can't remember because the drink is just saved in my Starbucks app and I just reordered every time. It's either 2 or 3 pumps of sugar-free vanilla. So just substitute sugar-free vanilla for regular vanilla. So, I guess, yeah, technically, sure, it's macro-friendly because I think the drink, it ends up being around, like, I would say 80 to 100 calories. Is that accurate? Honestly, I don't know, because depending on what Starbucks you go to, they all make them different, but I love it. I love it. And, I think I actually like the routine of going to Starbucks every morning, maybe better than the drink itself. I'm not kidding. There's just something about just that routine of getting up. That's literally the first thing I do. I get up at 5 a.m. at the latest, get up, feed the dogs, go straight to Starbucks, come back home. There's a Starbucks about 6 minutes from my house. I don't know. I tried to get into the habit of like making myself a cup of coffee. It just, I don't know. It just doesn't taste as good. So I will literally never stop going to Starbucks. Okay. And no, they are not a show sponsor. They probably should be, but they're not. Okay. Okay. Moving on. I will never stop listening to celebrity gossip podcast. Okay. Kind of goes back to trash TV. I don't know what it is. It is just something I can put on and listen to, and I don't have to think. It's on for noise, but I keep up. I keep up with the times, and I know who's a douchebag. I know who's a pervert. I know the lawsuits happening between celebrities. Like, I know the tea at all times, and I'm here for it. Okay. Next, I will never stop unfriending people on Facebook. Okay. I don't need to explain myself either, for unfriending them. Just bye. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. We're not friends. I don't even know who you are. Or maybe I do know who you are, and I just don't like you anymore. Okay. Or maybe it's one of those things where, like, I know who you are, but I don't know how we ended up as friends on Facebook. Okay, here's the deal. I don't just go around like unfriending people on Facebook. Let me be very clear. And I don't really unfriend people on Facebook that I don't agree with, or I have a difference of opinions with, like, because I welcome that. I think the world needs that. Not everybody's going to agree with what I say, and I'm not going to agree with everything that my friends on Facebook say. Totally fine. But very rarely do I have time to just like sit down and scroll Facebook. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes when I'm bored or when I'm sitting in the massage chair at the gym, because I do that every morning, sometimes I'll get on there and I'll scroll. I try to be conscious of it because I realize, like, if I'm scrolling too much, then I need something to do. Okay. But if I get on there and I scroll, and, there's certain people that just like always pop up. I don't know why. And their posts continuously put me in a bad mood, or I see something and I'm like, you're an idiot, or I don't know. I just go to their profile and I'm like, look, I just don't want to see it. Okay. I don't want to see it. You're not my family. Even if you were, I probably would still unfriend you, but like, you're just whatever. It is what it is. And I just move on. I unfriend it. And I just don't ever have to see it again. It's really that simple. All right. Next. Oh, by the way, I'm giving you permission to do the same. It's actually really liberating. Just to be like, I don't like what I see. It's the same thing as Instagram. Like, if you're on Instagram and you're following somebody and you just don't like what you see, you just literally simply unfollow. It's not that deep, Okay, where was I? Oh, okay, next. I will never stop working out with my headphones in, but nothing is playing. You know who you are. If you can relate to that, we actually should be really good friends. Like, we're aligned. You know what I mean? Like, we've got a lot in common. I put my headphones in when I'm at the gym, and probably, I would say 8 times out of 10, there's actually nothing playing. And it's like a little signal, like, don't bother me. I've got my headphones in. You know what I'm saying? In fact, sometimes people still can't read the room. And so if there's certain people at the gym that I know they're just talkers, and I'm like, I just don't want to talk. I just want to get in, get my workout in, be unbothered, and move on. I have been known to pull out the big giant headphones, you know what I'm saying, that go over your head and cover your whole ear, just so it is more obvious that I am busy. So, pro tip. All right, quick pause to talk about my company, Mojo Fit Co., because this deserves a moment. Mojo Fit Co. was built for midlife women who feel off in their body and are just tired of being told to eat less, move more, and deal with it, all right? Women battling hormones, belly fat that comes out of nowhere, low energy, mood swings, and the constant feeling of, why do I not feel like myself anymore? Now look, this is not a basic fitness program, and it is definitely not built by gym bros or 20-year-old influencers. Mojo Fit Co. was built for women, by women, designed specifically for this phase of life. Inside, we don't guess, we don't punish your body, and we don't hand you another plan that you gotta figure out on your own. We look at the full picture: hormones, metabolism, stress, lifestyle, everything that you need all under one roof. Because you are never too old to get your mojo back. I can assure you that. And you also need support from someone that actually understands the female body at this stage of life. So if you're ready to feel strong, sexy, clear-headed, and confident again in your body, and you're done with all of the free or cheap BS out there and you want a forever solution, you can apply by clicking the link in the show notes. All right, now let's get back to it. Okay, next. Oh, this is a good one. Things I will never stop doing. Number whatever this is, 7, 6, something like that. I will never stop loathing group text messages. Worst thing I can think of a million things that I would rather do and be involved in than a group text message. Quite honestly, if I am in a group text message, I don't respond. Okay. My ADHD literally cannot handle all of the information coming in and all of the different stories, and I just can't handle it. And so most of the time, I just either A, don't respond and leave them unread, or B, just remove myself from the group text. Now listen, I know that the group is going to get a notification that Katie Fleece left the thread. I don't care. I actually don't care. You know what might be the only thing worse than a group text message? And I mean this. Have you ever been a part or heard of Band? Okay. If you don't know what Band is, it's an app. Okay. It's similar to GroupMe. So GroupMe would be just, I'm going to put that up there with Band. It's the same thing. Okay. A lot of sports teams will use these, not like, NFL teams, but like sports, they're used for sports parents a lot. And I am involved in this, or I shouldn't say involved because I'm not involved. I'm actually not on the app. And, there are some times where I miss really useful information. Okay. But I am a part of, let's say that, a band group for my daughter's cheer competition team. And, I'm sure that it is necessary. However, when you have 117 parents in there and they're all giving their opinions and asking questions, and there is so much information, I would rather poke myself in the eye repeatedly, like just literally. It's actually awful. It is terrible. Luckily for me, there are a couple parents on this cheer squad that know that about me. And they will actually just text me on the side and give me the bullet points of what I need to know. Because they just know that I will probably miss it. If it's actually important info that I would need to know, I will probably miss it. It's the actual worst. It's terrible. By the way, I love my daughter's cheer coaches. They are angels. They are doll babies. But anyways, I digress. Okay. I will never stop eating overpriced meals ever. I don't know what it is, you guys. I know it's so dumb. It is so dumb to go out on a date night and spend, $300-$400 on dinner for my husband and I. I get it. It's stupid. It's stupid. But there's just something about it, I love to be served. I love to be served. And quite honestly, my husband, I'm not a cook, but luckily my husband is, or else we would eat out for every meal. But he makes a better steak than probably 95% of the restaurants that we eat at, the steakhouses that we eat at. Like, that is no joke. I actually prefer my husband's steak over our favorite steakhouse. Okay. That's what he should do. Oh my God. He should literally get a job as the head chef and just make the steak there and serve it to me at that restaurant. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I know some of you are going to understand that. Like there's just something about going out, enjoying a nice meal, overpaying for it, and being completely unbothered. Speaking of, on that same thought, I will never stop having a nice hot cup of coffee after my dinner when I go out to a restaurant. I do it at every restaurant. Dinner time, not lunchtime, dinner. There is something about topping off the meal with a cup of coffee and just like sitting back and relaxing. I don't know. And yes, it's caffeinated. It is caffeinated. It's not decaf. I am one of those freaks that can drink a cup of coffee fully caffeinated at 9 p.m. and go home and go straight to bed and have zero problem falling asleep. I don't know. I've heard it's an ADHD thing. Like actually, I've heard that. I don't know if it's true. So don't quote me on that. Okay. Oh, you know what? Speaking of food, I will never stop devouring. I mean, completely devouring like an idiot Mexican food. Mexican is one of those foods that I could eat for every meal. And you put chips and queso in front of me and all bets are off. Like I will eat chips and queso more than anybody else sitting at the table. And I have zero regrets in the moment. Usually later, it's like, oh, why did I do that? But in the moment, it's just, it actually brings me pure joy. Okay, moving on. I will never stop. You guys, if you could see my notes, you would die. Okay, but literally, this is how my mind works. I will never stop taking Groons, which if you don't know what those are those little like they're like gummies or like fruit snacks. Okay, they're like fruit snacks, but they taste like the old school Flintstone vitamins. That's exactly what they taste like. But they're supposed to be like, I don't know. They're supposed to like help. They're full of fiber. Okay, which they are. Probably sugar too, and vegetables or something. I don't know. But I will never stop taking them. And every time I take them, I convince myself that I am getting a full serving of vegetables every time I take them. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I'm going to keep telling myself. Plus, they're really good. Okay. I am the only one that will eat them in my house too. My kids and my husband, they think they're disgusting. They're not. They're delicious. Okay. They're delicious. Okay. I will literally never stop buying shit that I don't need on Facebook ads. Okay. I am that girl. If I see an ad on Facebook or Instagram for something that catches my eye, I will click on the ad and I will go buy it. Even if it's like, I don't know. Like somehow I talk myself into it. If it's good marketing, sometimes it's shit marketing. If I am not clicking on your ad to purchase, then you've got something wrong with your marketing because I'm the woman that clicks on everything if I want it. Okay. All right. Let's see. I will never stop eavesdropping ever. It's a gift. If we're at dinner or wherever, anywhere, out in public, at a coffee shop, whatever. And if there is a conversation going on beside me, I'm more invested in that conversation than I am with the person sitting across from me. I can't concentrate. Like there's too much happening. And now I know what Sally just got herself into and I am on pins and needles. And even if it's time to leave, my husband makes fun of me because I'm like, babe, we're not getting up from this table until I find out what happened. Okay, we have to sit here. I've got to know the end of the story. I'm invested. Okay, it's a toxic trait. So anyways, if you don't want me to know your life story or hear your conversation, don't sit anywhere close to me because I am going to listen. I'm going to listen. All right. I will never stop, like not, I don't know. Does this make sense? I will never stop not drinking the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Like I might drink the Kool-Aid for a short amount of time, but sooner or later, Kool-Aid upsets my belly anyway. I don't even freaking like Kool-Aid. Like, it's actually disgusting to me. I didn't drink it as a kid, and I ain't drinking it as an adult. Even if it's like the unpopular thing to be like, you know what? That flavor of Kool-Aid is not for me anymore. If that's the unpopular thing to do, I'm going to do it. And I give 0 Fs. I don't care. I've always been that way, you know? I've just always been that way, which I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Like I said, I might drink it for a short amount of time, but then it's like, you know, I start picking up on shit pretty fast. And I'm like, something's not right here. And I have just like no qualms about, all right, not for me anymore. Bye. Okay. I will literally never stop. And I should, watch my words here, because a year or two from now, I might eat them about what I'm about ready to say. I will never stop wearing matching sweats. Okay. Sweat sets. Now listen, I realize that this might be trending in 2026. I am here to tell you, I am here for it. The 2026 is the year of the matching sweat set, and I'm here for it. I literally wear this like every day. I have sweat sets in every color, and I wear them every day. I understand that it's a trend. I understand that, 10 years from now, I might literally look at pictures. I might look back at this podcast and be like, what was I thinking? What was I wearing? Did I think that was cool? You know what? Yes, I did. Okay. And I do. I think it's cool. I love it. It's comfortable. I love to be comfortable. And this is real life. This is the stage of life that I'm in right now. I love to get dolled up. I love to put on makeup. I love to get, dressed up and wear normal clothes, but only like 10% of the time. 90% of the time, you're going to catch me like this. Okay. So yeah, I'm here for the matching sweat sets. I promise you I am almost done. Last but not least, I will never not wear the thoughts that I'm having on my face. Ever. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I literally cannot hide what I'm thinking on my face. So if I think you're a dumbass, you're going to know it. There will be signs, okay? You just got to look at my face. And that's that. And I actually think I don't know that really needs an explanation. I think that's a great place to stop. There will be signs, okay? And I'm not going to apologize for that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. Maybe it gave you some ideas on some things that you just don't ever have to stop. And you don't have to, you don't have to apologize, even if it's, maybe not the popular thing to do. There are certain things that I am not willing to give up. And this list right here was a good peek inside to my life. All right. Well, anyways, hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you on the next episode of Mojo and Co. Bye for now.